Good morning, all you three buff guys and gals out there. It is Sunday, I guess. Another Sunday here. How is everybody doing today?
Absolutely wonderful today.
Fantastic. What about you, William?
Same here, thank you. What about with you, Thomas?
I'm doing terrific. Pa, it looks like you're in different surroundings than usual. Do you want to tell us where you are?
Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned in the broadcast last week, I was heading towards England. We arrived in England safely, and I am currently at my mum and dad's house, Nanny and Granddad's house. I'm sat out in their garden, in their newly installed summer house. So the weather outside is sunny, some clouds in the sky, but it's good to be here. Just had a large lunch, which brings us very nicely on later on to the topic of discussion today. So I can't complain.
Great. Fantastic. Well, I guess we'll just dive right on in.
Yeah, let's see where we are. So, I've got a few things wrong here today. Hold on a minute.
Winning everything.
Technology problems. Okay, so I don't think we look any more handsome this week than we did last week, but distances. So I had another few kilometers, few miles this week. I'm at 3,500 or above. Thomas, good work. 2,600, and William currently 2,790. So we're all doing really well. I think you two guys will need to put a little bit more into it if you're going to get to Boise by the end of the year, but I know you can do it, okay?
Definitely.
All right, then. So let's start with you this week, Thomas. Looking back.
It's been a good week. It's been a really good week. Just before I get started, I don't know if we're supposed to be seeing any screen on here.
Yeah, it should be. You not see anything?
No, I only see you two.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't need it.
All right, then. So let me share the screen again. Okay, hold on one moment, please. For some reason, there are some technology problems.
I think we know it off by heart by now.
Yeah, good point. So if I can't get this going quickly, then
there we go. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Well, this week it's been a good week. Very happy. Stressful at work, but as I've been trying to do, tackling that without resorting to bad habits / bad foods. How am I feeling? I feel really, really, really good. Owning this new house is getting me out of the house a lot. I have to go out all the time. I'm running out for errands. I'm running out to mow lawns, which I'm sure in my head I mow just hours beforehand, but it's keeping me active, keeping me busy. I absolutely love it. So the challenge, get the scales out and weigh. I weigh myself now every other day. And my fitness equipment, I have a gift card to a sporting goods store that I am going to purchase a punch bag. I'm going to be purchasing a punch bag.
okay.
Me?
What?
Was that from me? Bass Pro?
No. So Bass Pro is different kind of sporting goods.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna be going to Dick's, and I'm gonna be grabbing where it's sort of more general sports, and gonna be grabbing a punch bag there. So I'm putting that one up in the garage, and you're gonna see me slug it out with the bag a couple of times.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that you've been going on the scales.
Yeah.
Every 2 days now. Are you the same as you were last week, or have you gone up or gone down, or?
No, I've gone down about pound and a half. Um, I think that's due to the fact that we've been making an effort. Number one, not to eat out as much, and number two, to try and have each other go through the grocery list before we order it, and just to kind of be our motivation, check each other and check what we get so that we don't go crazy.
Okay. So 1.5, that's 3/4 of a kilo. So you do that every week, and you'll be in fantastic shape by the time we get to the wedding.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And do you feel that you would have been where you are now if you had just left a scale in one of the moving boxes, or?
I think that whenever you can tick something off of a list, I think in your mind it just gives you a bit of a boost that I don't particularly know why, but it's just that sense of accomplishment. So I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's been very helpful to get things done. Be very proactive.
Okay, good to hear. Then over to you then, William.
Well, my week went very good actually. Besides from today and yesterday, I had evening, so afternoon dienst, so work,
Yeah,
and that's from 2:30 until 11 at night. And by the time I get home at 12:30, I'm not tired yet, so I stay up until 1, and then I sleep until 10, 11, and after 2 hours I have to go to work anyway. So it's difficult to do your steps then. It's difficult for me at least because I'm very tired. And the same as today and yesterday. I have morning work, so I work from 7:15 until 3:15, so I'm home at 4, and then I'm not very motivated. I mean, I walk to work every day and I walk home every day, but yeah, other than that, I managed all my steps. I mean, I'm not too proud about that or too happy. I mean, I'm glad I did it, but yeah, it could have been a lot better. The
yeah, it could have
challenge,
been a lot worse.
Hmm.
Your battery didn't run out, and every single day you met your commitment. So
yeah,
don't
that's
beat yourself
true.
up.
That's true. And I also didn't have any sweets, but besides from today in the afternoon, I had this the smallest bit of nougat, which was amazing. Um, but yeah, weight wise, it didn't go down this week, so I was a bit shocked about that, or a bit disappointed. I'm not
Mhm.
sure what I did wrong, but
But maybe you didn't do anything wrong. Maybe you just, well, sometimes you just stick for a couple of weeks in the same place.
now
And
also
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
Also, Manor is here now, so my roommate, and yeah, I mean, every other day we do have 1 or 2 beers, so that must add to it as well. And
Yeah,
if I were alone, then I wouldn't do that. So yeah, that must be it, I guess.
that also ties into today's discussion as well, but we'll come to that in a minute. So, but still, all in all, you met your daily goals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So nothing to be ashamed of. Anything else from you, William, or is it over to me?
That's everything from me. So
Okay.
everything.
Right. So for me, what went well this week was I I was a little bit worried about coming over to England and not getting my steps in.
Mm.
We broke the journey into 2 days, so
Mm-hmm.
we did stop overnight. And on the drive to Germany, it wasn't really a problem to get the steps in because I went for a walk before we left Austria. And when we got to the hotel in the evening, me and your mum went for enough steps just to get the minimum daily. Then we sat down in a restaurant looking at this wonderful menu. First thing, the waitress comes out, "I'll take a beer, please." And the beer was so good. It was different, different type of beer. So first beer went down really fast. Then out comes the appetizer. It was a shrimp and avocado cocktail. That was so good. Followed by the main course. The main course I had was a cordon bleu with hummus, lots of French fries. And then this is the problem. When you're sat, you look around and you fall in love with other people's food. Mm-hmm. And the people on the other table, it was a mother and daughter. The daughter was about my age, and she was there obviously treating her mum. And they were really enjoying themselves, and they had a dessert, creme brulee. So your mum didn't have any appetizer, but your mum said about creme brulee. I said, "Go on, let's have it." So, okay. So we went for a short walk afterwards. Then the next day on the drive, that was more difficult because it was I had a business meeting first thing. So me and your mum went for a walk before breakfast. Breakfast again, you go there, you got the breakfast buffet, and then went for the walk. We arrived at Grandma's house luckily for me, there's an hour time difference between the UK and mainland Europe. So we arrived at midnight European time, but that's 11 p.m. UK time. But I didn't even step into your grandma's house. I was walking straight away because I had about 45 minutes more walking to do to get my steps in. So I finally got my steps in about 11:45 UK time. So I made it. And by the time I got back in, your mum had gone to bed, your grandma had gone to bed. Very antisocial of me, but I did. So I'm not complaining there.
Turning into sickness, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. So, okie dokie. So I'm still on track with my weight goal. I'm on track with my distance goal. I guess you must be on track as well, Thomas, because if you lost 1.5 pounds, then you're heading towards the interest. So looking good.
Yeah, I'm thinking about revising my goals in the next coming weeks.
Okay.
But I want to come up with something sorry, more realistic, which I'm not going to have to revise again until next year.
That's okay. They're your goals. You need to decide them. There's no pressure from William, no pressure from me. So when you're ready, come back and tell us, okay? And William, how's your six pack doing? So you haven't lost any weight this week, but that's not your primary goal. How's your six pack?
I mean, there's still a lot of work to do. If I flex real hard, I can see it.
Yeah.
But it's still a bit covered, so padded.
Okay.
I'm getting very happy with my back. There's not too much fat on there, not compared to last year where I had massive love handles. That's what they.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're almost gone. Almost.
Okay. I don't want any photographs because this is a family show. There are kids watching this, so keep your six pack covered, okay?
All right.
All right then. Today's topic. This one was suggested by Thomas. It's very poignant for those people that don't know us so well. They won't be aware of whenever we come to my mum and dad's house, my mum has an obsession with overfeeding. And piling up a plate with so much food that you can't eat. And then sometimes not being so happy when you say, no, I don't want any more. So how do we avoid overeating when you're faced with so much food? For example, the breakfast buffet in the hotel. And maybe, Thomas, you can talk a little bit about what's ahead of you.
Yeah, sure. I just first like to preface this by your last point here, how to politely say no. I've often found in the past, I don't know about you guys, that sometimes I'll just say yes because I know that if I were to say no, the discussion afterwards, the oh, are you sure? Are you sure? You really, you don't want any? I can go and grab. I can make some. It's just like there's going to be this 20-minute long back and forth of I want you to eat something, dot, and so I'm like. So I will oftentimes find myself just saying, yeah, sure, whatever, just to kind of avoid that long, drawn-out discussion.
You could have been here today. We went for a walk at a place called Lydiard Hill. Nanny was just starting to prepare the lunch. Just as me and your mum were outside putting our shoes on, Nanny put her head out the window and said, out through the door and said, what about dessert? And we both said, we don't want any dessert, thanks. I said, what do you normally have? Nanny said, we don't normally have dessert either. So me and your mum went off, went a wonderful walk, came back.
She made dessert.
Sat down at lunch. There's just a knife and fork. There's no evidence of a spoon. Just a knife and fork. We have a really good roast lunch. It was a good sized portion, but luckily it wasn't a typical, no, not luckily, it wasn't a typical Nanny portion. She's obviously shown some restraint. So I had everything that was on my plate and truly enjoyed it. The dishes get taken out to the kitchen, and back comes Nanny with a plate of mince pies and cream. And onto a bowl, she puts 2 mince pies and passes them to me. And I thought, do I say no, I don't want them? And I figured I'll just suck it up and eat them. And I did really, really enjoy them, no question. But when I finished, there was one left over, and she tries to put that on my plate as well, but I drew the line there. But I'm sorry, I monopolized. Back to you again, Thomas.
Again, I think, yeah, I think I don't even necessarily think that the hardest part is saying no. I think the hardest part is navigating the aftermath of saying no. And I think a lot of us, and the more time I put into this, the more I realize, at least for myself, that's true. I'll eat just to avoid that discussion, just because I don't want to have to deal with it, and because I feel like it draws attention to me when there's 6 or 7 other people sitting at the table. It's like, well, I just don't want to be different. I don't want to go against the grain. I don't want to have to get a lecture on a nice family meal. So yeah, I'll just do it to keep the peace.
Yeah. In general, though, are those people of a similar size to you and me, or are they smaller people?
What depends, because really the only times I can really think of this is with family. Now I look at family, and there's really 3 people that I've ever had sort of consistent meals from, which Nanny, Grandma, and Mom. So all 3 of those, comparatively to me, are much smaller. They're probably a good deal healthier. By no means athletic or whatnot, but comparatively,
I
they have,
beg to differ. Mummy has become very athletic.
oh, for sure. But I
Double
haven't
that.
seen her in almost 2 years. It's
Sure.
a person changes a lot in 2 years.
Do you guys remember that lady in Tahoe, State Line?
Yes.
Your mother's heading in that direction.
Wow. I'm super proud of her. Really, really proud of her. I mean, we've given a lot of input here, William. What do you have to say on the matter?
Mm, to your topic, about saying no. I believe when you're eating with friends, or it's at least with most of my friends that way, if I just tell them, no, I'm on a diet, no, I can't drink this month, I'm on a diet, then 90% of the time they'll respect that. If I just say no for no reason, then of course they're going to ask, why not? Why don't you want to? That's impolite. But if you just tell them, I'm really trying to watch my weight or lose weight, I'm fine with that. Then most of the time they'll accept that.
Mhm.
In my, from my experience at least. I mean, of course, people like nanny and grandma, they don't believe in diets because they've never had to go on one.
Yeah,
Because
different.
back in those times,
Mhm.
you just didn't have to diet because you were just always active. But nowadays, it definitely is very important.
Yeah, I agree with you, William. And I'm convinced, Thomas, that as we get closer to the holiday season, and if and when you get invited to grill parties and stuff, if you tell the people very honestly, hey, food looks really great, I'll definitely take some. However, at the moment, I'm really working hard to lose weight. Tell them a little bit about Three Buff Guys. Most people are really interested when you tell them,
Yep.
or at least that's what I found. Tell them that you'd really appreciate if they would help you in any way possible.
Yeah.
And one of the, maybe it's a British thing, that British people, when they go to the breakfast buffet, they tend to load everything high. And if you tell people, if you're out with somebody, if you tell them, look, I'll start with a little bit, and if I want more, I can always go back. Then people tend not to notice the fact that you don't go back. Or if you are truly hungry, you do go back. At least you've then got a conscious decision that you need to make. Do I really need to stand up and go back to the breakfast buffet or to the lunch buffet? Or have I really had enough? And honesty, as William says, is really the best policy. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I think sometimes people look at you and say, God, he's a really big guy. He must really need feeding up. So let's just dump all the food on his plate and make him happy. And they don't realize that they're achieving the opposite goal in the end.
Very true.
You disagree, Thomas? By the look on your face, you disagree.
No, I wouldn't say necessarily disagree. I do think that there's sometimes, especially when you're with family that you haven't seen for a long time, there's there's a certain element of I just want to have a nice meal. I don't want to make it about me. I just want to hear how everybody else is doing, sort of thing. And so to me, part of that is not needing to bring up that I'm on a diet, not needing to bring up that I'm on the Three Buff Guys, just kind of taking a step back, because that's what I enjoy most about being with family, is hearing how everybody else is going with their lives. So part of me is just that just feels that being able to just sit back and not have to explain the reasons why, that would be nice every now and then. If that makes sense.
Are you embarrassed that you're on a diet?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's one of those things. I've had so many diets that I've tried, I've started that haven't gone well, that haven't gone to plan.
Compare this year to any of those past
No,
tries, attempts.
no, I don't necessarily think. it's a comparison. I just I don't even really know what I'm getting at, really.
I do, because it's happened over the last few days in England. Whenever you mention to somebody, or whenever I mention to somebody that I'm losing weight,
Mm-hmm.
almost inevitable is the question, oh, which diet are you following? And then you tell them, oh yeah, but you need to do this. You must have so many carbs, and you can't do this. And everybody in the whole world is a nutritional and diet expert. Everybody is able to tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. Not one of them has 1 ounce of medical training, dietary training, but they're all experts, and they all feel that they have the right to advise you on how you need to fix your problem.
Mm.
And sometimes that, depending on my mood, I can really rebel, put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But with friends, it's easier, because with friends, exactly as William says, and if they're true friends, it's like drinking. True friends don't force you to drink alcohol. True friends will accept when you say, "Hey, I've decided not to drink tonight for my own reasons." A true friend will say, "If you're sure, then okay. But if you want one, there's plenty in the fridge."
Mm-hmm.
And true friends, if you say, "I don't want to go into details too much. Got a wedding ahead of me. I'm losing weight," then a true friend would say, "Fine. Just let me know if I can help in any way."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Explaining to everybody, sometimes it's a bit tiresome. Okay. This week's challenge, I copied and pasted them from last week. For me, my challenge this week is I'm going to enjoy England. I'm going to definitely do my daily steps, and just enjoy it. I'm on the different set of scales, the ones that were somewhat unpredictable. I made a modification to them in the hope that they will be more predictable. So let's see. My challenge over the next few weeks is to navigate the pork pie, fish and chips, the
Sausage
what's the
roll,
curry hat, Bolton code.
pasties.
Yeah, to navigate those things. But enough that I've enjoyed myself to leave the UK in a couple of weeks' time, still on track with my weight goal. Those are going to be my challenges.
Hmm.
And you, Thomas, you think about any challenge for this week? I suppose one challenge is to get out there and go and get your punch bag and get it fixed up in the garage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be the big one. I'll lay in bed at night now, and something that hasn't happened for a long time. I'll lay there and I'll just be excited. I'll be excited about the things that are coming up, the things that I can do, the things that's going on. There's always an excuse not to do things. Oh, well, it's cold outside. Oh, well, I don't have this, that, and the other. I've got a great garage now that I'm going to get some of those cool new floors put in, those epoxy. I'm going to put that punch bag up in there. I'm going to turn that into the ultimate fitness / man cave. And so Lily and I are going to go out there after work, and we're going to hit the bag a couple times. It's just exciting, all the things that you can do, and yeah, I definitely think it's a really fun and exciting process. So that's what makes me happy.
I thought of you two guys the last time that me and your mum were up in Munich.
Yeah.
I thought of it for good and for bad reasons. The cover shot, the Morro Bay shot,
Yeah.
That was the time in your life, Thomas, when you rejected any form of exercise, any form of fitness, any form of moderation. If we said have a small portion, you would go for a large one. If you remember, there was one day when William and myself went. We were in San Francisco. We went for a long walk towards San Francisco Park. Do you remember that, William?
So it was amazing.
Okay, so we went for a long walk. You didn't want to come. You wanted to sit and do nothing. And as we were walking, you looked down over onto a parking lot. It was a Sunday. And there was a young woman and a couple of guys. And they had a couple of thick, long ropes that were about 2-inch, 3-inch diameter. And they had almost no equipment. These 2 ropes they tied to a lamppost. They had a balance board and some other things. And they were just doing this high-intensity workout. 30 seconds, bashing the ropes up and down, and then onto the next one. When we were in Munich, me and your mum were walking up to the beer garden, up some steps. And there was a free boot camp, sports boot camp with these people. And they were running up and down steps, and they had some ropes. And I thought, now that Thomas is so motivated, if you can find a free boot camp once a week or once every couple of weeks in Boise, that would be fun. Get to meet some people. And in this one, there were people of all shapes and sizes. I wouldn't say that they all had a smile on their face, but a lot of them did. And I'm sure that once it was all finished, they would have a smile on their face. So just an idea there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm in a very talkative mood today.
So my challenge is, I think I'll keep up with the sweets
Okay.
as much as I don't enjoy it, because I do like sweets occasionally. I'll keep that up. And also one goal that I want to set myself, it's an additional goal, is I want to look for a sport, like a sports club in Vienna. I'm not sure what yet, but something that I can join with my roommate and that we can go together maybe. I have no idea what is available out there, but yeah, look for something.
You join a boxing gym and channel your inner Rocky.
Yeah, they're so expensive in Vienna, or 80 euros a month.
Whoa!
Yeah, so it's quite expensive.
Okay, maybe just beat a tree then or something. Or
Okay. So all right. So those are interesting goals. All right. For me, on the English scales, I'm the same way, or yesterday I was the same way as I was last week. So there have been fish and chips from Wichelston. There had been the large meal in Germany on the way over, the breakfast buffet. I did okay on the breakfast buffet, by the way. But let's keep on track over the next few weeks. Steps wise, really good to see that your battery didn't run out this week, William. You're up a bit from last week. You still have a few steps to go today, but I'm convinced you'll make it. So yeah, keep on going. It's good to see. Thomas, I see that you also about 14,000 steps a day.
mm-hmm.
That's slightly up on your last week. I don't know why your last week's picture isn't on there. I obviously messed things up, but yeah, keep it up. There's that one. Hey, you Sunday, come on, you must have just golly, I've just got it. At least you got up and put the last couple of 100 steps on there to get it over the goal.
Yeah, I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump my minimum up to 11,000, and then achieving 10 has not been a problem. So if I set myself that mental note, you've got to do 11, and then I'll just start building from there.
I'll join.
it does become addictive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you get hooked. You think, I
Oh,
cannot,
for sure. For
I
sure.
cannot not do it. But as you can see from mine, I had over the last Sunday, Saturday. So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These are the travel days.
You know, the sad part is that's probably about 16,000 steps right there. It's 16, 17,000. Jeez.
Yeah, I think it was at 18,000, Thomas. But I haven't got a big head.
I'm not gonna brag, you know.
But
wow.
yeah, yesterday was a good day. Yesterday, in total, I did about 36 kilometers.
Yeah.
20 miles walking.
So how come it's less kilometers than last week and also less steps and less average daily? But
right. So it's because
no, last week it was more kilometers.
Yeah, it's more steps. This week the daily average is more than last week, but more of the steps were done with the GPS on. The GPS is by far a more accurate way to measure the distance.
Okay.
So if you don't use the GPS at all, just counts the steps. It assumes that your step length is, say, 60 centimeters or whatever you have in the default in the Garmin. And that's why almost all of this was with the GPS on. And the great thing, and maybe you two start to feel it as well, the great thing I find now is yesterday was 36 kilometers. I woke up today feeling hungover. I drank too much beer last night, too much whiskey. Nobody was forcing me. I can't blame Nanny or Granddad yesterday for anything. That was me. But I woke up this morning with no aches and pains in my legs or my hips or my knees or anything. And me and your mum just went out walking. So just doing the exercise regularly each day really does condition your body and make you feel good.
All right, shall we wrap this up soon? I have to get going.
Let's stop sharing this. Get out of there. And in that case, Thomas, it is time to do your stuff again.
Alrighty, guys. So another week in the books. That is a wrap for now. We want to see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, every single one of you. You guys can do it. We're doing it every single day. So just have a great, great week coming up, and I'll see you next time. Take care for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.